I love when girls are like, he's not giving me as much attention as he used to. Well, of course not, baby. Let me tell you something about guys that start losing interest. They'll still act like they like you, but they can never give you the same attention as they used to in the beginning. They'll never tell you this, but they will slowly drift away and allow you to make the move of leaving. So pay close attention.
Relationships can be very difficult, and some men are mysterious. Being in a relationship with a man that is not into you is a struggle on another level. If you suspect that your man is not into you, you just might be right. When a man is not into you, his actions speak volume, and the mixed signals are always there.
Give us 5 signs he's not interested in you.
Takes a long time to respond. Only wants to hang out once a week. Only hits you up when it's convenient for him. Doesn't message you back after a while. Just not putting in any effort. When he's really good at texting, but he's never initiating like a time to hang out, then you're just a backup.
Damn.
Hello fam, how you all doing? Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. In this video, we are uncovering the telltale signs from men, TikTok men, telling us how to know if a man is not into a woman in a relationship. At the end of this video, you should be able to tell if that man is into you or not. You will never have to wonder again. It can be tricky to tell sometimes, but the signs are usually there. You just need to know what to look out for. The first sign to look out for is this: does he take his sweet time to reply your message?
If you are anxiously waiting for that person to text you back, then I want you to pay attention. Nowadays, everybody has their phone on them virtually all day. And even if they are busy, they are making the conscious decision to not get back to you, or they're making the conscious decision to not tell you they are too busy to talk. When you're dating the right person, they're not going to constantly make you feel insecure or unsure about their level of interest. My advice would be to move on and find somebody that's actually going to put in more effort.
My situationship takes 16 hours to reply, even though he's active and posting on socials. Baby girl, that's not a situationship. That's a he's not into you ship.
There is no situation at all there. I mean, there isn't.
16 hours? I mean, 1 hour, 2 hours. What is he doing in his 16 hours?
The situation is that the ship has sailed and he is just not that into you, sweetheart.
Because if a man don't reply back to you until days later, that's normal for them. You need to normalize not replying to them when they do 4 or 5 days later. Ain't nobody desperate. Ain't nobody that much worth you waiting day. Everybody holds their phone in their hand. Don't let them normalize not getting back, all right? And then you normalize hurrying up, talking to them the minute they hit you. The minute they call you, you just picking up the phone. Hello, hey, I've been waiting for you. You ain't been waiting. Hey, don't make nobody feel like they worth you waiting days. Ain't nobody that busy to wait days. Stop normalizing things that should be abnormal. Don't let them play in your face, I told you. You text them or call them today, they should at least a couple of hours. Do's and don'ts of dating, that's one of them.
For example, if you sent him a message in the morning or you called him in the morning and he took 24 hours to reply you and his excuse is he was busy, he's too busy. If he was in a workplace where phones were not allowed, that is understandable, and he worked 24-hour shift, that is understandable. But if that is not the case, then there is something off there. I understand everyone is busy, you need to make the money, you have bills to pay, people are running their businesses, people are going to school, people are going to work and all that. If he truly cares about you, he will make time out. If that man can take a coffee break, if that man can go to the toilet, if that man can hang out with friends, have lunch, what stopped him from picking up his phone to leave you a message or return your call? In this digital world where everyone is always holding their phone, all I see is someone that is not into you, is just giving an excuse. Another sign they said we should look out for is this: does that man initiate contact? If he never initiates contact, or he's not good at communicating, he's not interested in communicating, then something is off.
Let me explain something to you. If a man really values you, he's not going days without talking to you. That's not going to happen. Unless it's something that is completely out of his control. He in the military or something and they on a top secret mission or something that's completely out of his control. But a man who's just waking up and going to sleep every day freely and, you know, moving as he wills, no. If that man values you, he gonna want to know what's going on with you every single day. Even if it's a quick conversation. It ain't gotta be hours on the phone every day. A quick conversation. hey, I just wanted to check on you, make sure you was cool, man, make sure you don't need anything. You know, cool, hey, I got this going on, I got this meeting, I gotta be here, I gotta be there, but hey, before I get into any of that, I just want to make sure that you're good. Like, that's what real interest look like.
If a man is really into you, he will be looking forward to hearing from you all the time. He'll be longing. He'll be looking at his phone to get a message from you so he can quickly reply. That shows he's really into you. But if he's not into you, he's not communicating. He can go days without communicating, weeks without communicating. I don't know. You're just on your own. You're dating yourself. You're wasting your time because clearly that man is not into you. And then when you make effort to contact him, he struggles with communication. It's like it's always a one-sided communication. You're the one pushing, trying to keep the line going, the flow of the message, the flow of the communication, but he's not coming forth. He's struggling with it. It's not like he does not understand English or he does not understand the language both of you are using to communicate. It's just obvious that he's not interested, because if he's interested, he will be the one pushing it, propelling that communication forward. So it's a clear sign that that man is not interested. Don't make any excuse for him. He's not into you. If he's not communicating and he's not initiating any form of contact, just let him be.
Bottom line, this man is unwilling to communicate with you. And here's the facts. You can't have a healthy relationship without communication. And I'll see so many people comment on posts that I have about communication, and they'll say, well, what are you supposed to do if he doesn't want to talk? Leave his ass. I'm sorry, leave. Like, what do you mean what are you supposed to do? So you're going to sit there and remain in a relationship with a man who refuses to give you the courtesy of communication? That he can't talk to you at all? Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we're not in the mood. I understand. Sometimes, you may not know how to communicate properly and effectively, and you need to improve that. So I don't want to ignore the fact that you may need to improve your communication skills. However, he needs to be willing to talk to you. And the reality is that this isn't even just about the guy who you guys have been together for a while and communication has been a problem, which even if that's the case, we need to do something about this. Either we fix it or we leave.
Another point to note is minimal physical or emotional engagement. Does that man pay attention to you when you're conversing with him? Men said that if they're not into women, they are not going to be physically engaged with that woman. Them walking on the street, they wouldn't want to hold her hands, they wouldn't want to touch her. Emotional connection, they would distance themselves from that woman. And they do that by avoiding deep conversations. And when the woman tries talking to them, they pay less attention because they are obviously not interested and they don't care about whatever she's saying. So that's why they distance themselves. And when it comes to the physical touch, physical contact, they avoid it, especially in public places, because they don't want people to notice the both of them in that way. They avoid PDA because they are clearly not interested.
There's only but so many different ways you can explain yourself to a man that doesn't want to listen. Some men do not want to hear why they can be wrong. And because of that, they don't make room for you to explain how you feel. And that will always lead to a misunderstanding and conflict. And you deserve a man that doesn't only make room for what you have to say, but ask more questions to get an understanding of you even further without making it about him.
One thing I learned is that love never hurts you. It's the person that didn't know how to love you hurt you. This man woke up every day. He said he loved you, but there was no action. There was no flowers. There was no candy. There wasn't any type of date. There was no effort. There was no texting. There was no calling. But they always said they loved you. But that's not enough for a woman. You can tell a woman you love them, but they can feel empty inside. They don't feel the love. All they feel is like you're saying it forcefully just so I get off your ass. I don't want somebody to love me and tell me they love me and it's fake. I need somebody to show me true love. I want my heart to pump faster. I want it to beat faster when you say you love me because I know you mean it. So for all these boys that say, I love you, I love you, I love you, you can say that all you want. But if there's no effort, there's nothing. And this is why men need to learn how to love you. And the man you were with did not know how to love you at all, sweetheart. And I do apologize, but that was a boy.
If your man is not keen on keeping that relationship, that is a sign to look out for. Does he discuss the future with you? When you bring up conversation that has to do with future plans, what is his response like? Is he excited? Does he get turned up? What is his reaction towards such conversation like? When it comes to making the relationship move to the next level, what effort does he make? Does he make comments that makes it seem as though he's not interested, whatever it is, like he's sitting on the fence, he's just on the surface, he doesn't want to go deeper with you? Does he make comments like that? Does he make you feel like, oh, you're in this alone? Does his action make you feel like you're forcing him to be there? Does he make statements that make you feel like the relationship is casual to him and he's just going with the flow? Keeping his options open is another sign to look out for. Does that man make you feel special? A man that is keeping his options open will struggle with making you feel special, and he will struggle to show jealousy should you be with another man casually. So these are signs to look out for. I'm not saying that you should look out for a man that is jealous, overly jealous. No. If a man truly cares about you and he sees you with someone else, not in a bad way, I mean, you hanging out with a guy, or you're just talking to a guy, or your colleague at work and is a man, the man is going to show some level of jealousy. Does that man show jealousy in any way? If he doesn't, it means he doesn't care at all. If he doesn't make you feel special in any way, it means he doesn't care. And if he had had a conversation with you about, let's keep things open, let's explore, or feel free to date other people, or don't feel tied down, that means he's not into you, he's just there for the moment. Are you the only one initiating plans in the relationship? And when you make effort to make plans for both of you to hang out and spend time together, he will casually call it off with numerous excuses. Does that happen in your relationship? If that's the case, something might be off also in that relationship. That man might not be into you. I understand people can have events come up that will make them cancel plan, but if canceling plans has become a habit, has become something he does on a regular in that relationship, then that is something for you to look into. It's not normal. And if you're the one that is always making plan, initiating plan, executing plan, implementing plans in that relationship, then there's a problem also.
So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that if a guy only wants to sleep with you, he's not interested in you. He only sees you as an F buddy, okay? Now, just because you are 27 and you've never had a serious relationship or you've never been in a relationship, that does not mean that you just give up your body, okay? And this is not your fault. And here's, a lot of men are naturally just lustful, women too, and we are sexual beings, okay? And sometimes when we haven't had a relationship, we just want that affection, that physical touch, that love. It's completely normal, okay? I've been there. But what I will tell you is you have to respect your body more. You have to understand that you are worth more than just a guy telling you you're pretty and, oh, I just want to smash. That is not that is not appropriate, okay? So here's what I'll tell you. Start embodying the energy that you want to attract. And here's what I mean by that. Start respecting yourself enough. Start setting boundaries with men. Start saying no to men who want to sleep with you. And accept the fact when men tell you that you're pretty, but know you're...
Ladies, how do you know if a man is just in it for sex? Well, the first thing I would encourage you to do is tune into how you feel. Most women can go by their intuition. Women need to learn to trust this more. But if you're still unsure, you can ask him, what are your intentions? What are you hoping to gain out of our connection? If he wants something more serious, I can guarantee you he's going to tell you. And if he's wanting something more casual, he'll either tell you that or give you a very confusing response. This is how you know, and this is how then you decide what you would like to do next.
Is that relationship all about sex? Is he less interested in knowing who you really are? All he talks about is sex. When he calls you and you guys are together, it's all about sex. You have sex all the time. You don't have time for meaningful conversation. If the only time he seems very interested in the relationship and wants to spend time with you is when he wants to have sex with you, then there's a problem in that relationship. That man just might not be into you as you think he is.
5 signs they only want you for sex. Number 1, they only reach out at night with a "what are you doing" text. You've got to be kidding me. Number 2, they only express serious interest when they see you out or you post something nice online. Number 3, they never make real plans to have a date outside of the bedroom. Netflix and chill again. 4, conversations are only sexual in nature. Number 5, even with them sitting beside you, you feel lonely after you've had sex with them.
sex is not love. Sex is not into a lot of men. Women are very emotional. Or when a man sleeps with you, you think there's something special. To men, it's just a sport. It's really nothing that serious to a good number of men. So don't think because that man is having sex with you means that you're special to him. If that man only has time for you when he wants to have sex with you, then there's a problem. If you're just there as a booty call person, or he only calls you when it's time for action, there is a problem. What happens after sex or before sex? Do you guys bond without sex, without romantic thing? Do you do other normal things together outside sex? Ask yourself these questions, and if it's something you've not thought about, take time out to think about it, because that man just might not be into you. If you're thinking about it, your intuition might be right and is leading you in the right direction. If you're already having that feeling that he's not into you, then that man is not into you.
If I was a girl and I wanted to know whether a guy really was interested in me or if he was just interested in having like an intimate connection, I would just watch his face like a hawk. I would watch for his micro expressions, because I think the guy who's just interested in intimacy versus interested in you as an individual is probably going to be showing signs of strain in his face. Like, he might be smiling, he might be listening and nodding along, but it's going to look like what you've probably felt in your life is like a point where you're listening to someone and you don't really like them, or you don't like them, but you need something from them. Like, you need a job from them, or you need a favor from them. So you're just going through the motions of building rapport. That is what I would watch for. Can you see that in his face? Even though he's smiling, there's like some strain there. Maybe you'll mistake this for a guy just being nervous, but I gotta imagine there's a difference. When a guy is really just out there to get something from you, it's written on his face from the day one, you know?
How to cope with the realization that a guy isn't that into you. So essentially, it becomes pretty evident that he doesn't care that much. He doesn't see your value. First, you have to ask yourself, why do you care what he thinks? Does he have good taste? Does he have good style? Does he have good perspective? Like, what are his opinions? Are they strong? Do you respect them? Because ask yourself, because maybe the answer is no. Suddenly you have the realization, whoa, he might have bad taste. So I'm actually happy that I'm not a part of what you like. You can swiftly change your mindset to like, why do I care what Mike thinks? I care what the bad bitches think. Let's say on the flip, you really do respect what Mike thinks and likes, and he doesn't like you. Mike doesn't see your value. And that's because you're a gem and Mike isn't a jeweler. Mike is an accountant. How's he supposed to know? You just gotta keep open to your jeweler who sees you and is like, oh, that's worth a lot.
Actions, they say, speaks louder than words. If a man is into you, you will see it in his actions. It's not rocket science. It's as easy as ABC. It's not something that you need to do some research, find out. It's going to be out there for you to see, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel his love and everything. He will be happy to be there for you. Remember this. Always put yourself first. Value yourself and never sell yourself short to any man, all in the name of relationship. If you have that feeling that he doesn't care, he's not into you, I think you should pack your bags and move on. Put yourself first and value yourself. Your time is important. Don't let any man steal your joy and your time away from you. If you'd love to know if the man you're dating or married to is using you, click this video and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.